You clicked a link and waited. The modem sang. A blue N appeared in the corner, and the whole internet felt like it lived on your desk. Before feeds and apps, the web was a place you visited. Netscape Navigator was the door. And for a moment, it looked like the only door that mattered. The company behind that logo went public in a frenzy to find the dot-com gold rush and still lost the browser war. Ask people why Netscape died, and they say Microsoft. True enough, but the mechanism is uglier than a rival with a better product. Internet Explorer did not win because the web suddenly preferred blue ease. It won because the operating system came with a browser attached. I want to walk you through how a company that invented the commercial browser became a cautionary tale about platforms, bundling, and free. And yes, the ending is ironic. Netscape's code outlived the brand. The name on the box did not. Start with Mosaic at the University of Illinois, a graphical browser that made the web clickable for normal humans, not just researchers. Marc Andreessen and Jim Clark spin that energy into Netscape Communications in 1994. The pitch is simple: sell access to the future. Navigator ships as a product you could buy in a box. That sounds quaint now. Back then, it was revolutionary. A browser as a business. Dial-up was the bottleneck and a ritual. Every session started with noise. Netscape made people tolerate the wait because the page on the other side felt new. Portals, directories, news sites, the early web needed a front door. Netscape wanted to own the frame around everything else. Magazines put the web on the cover. CEOs admitted they did not understand it. Netscape sat in the middle of that confusion, selling a map. August 1995, Netscape goes public. The stock doubles, then doubles again. The dot-com era has a founding myth, and it wears a blue N. Overnight, browser engineers became rock stars. Venture capital learned a new verb: fund anything with a URL and a slide deck. Navigator's share climbed toward dominance. Not a monopoly yet, but close enough that Microsoft noticed the category. Netscape built a campus culture around speed, ship features, beat rivals, define the web before anyone else names the rules. Developers learned HTML because Netscape made the web feel buildable. The browser was not just software, it was the platform. Believe it or not, the biggest threat was not another startup. It was the company that already owned the desktop. The browser wars begin. Netscape sells software. Microsoft decides the browser should be a feature, not a product. Internet Explorer shows up in magazines, on CDs, in the mail, free. Competing with free is hard. Competing with pre-installed is brutal. Windows 95 lands with a marketing earthquake. The start menu matters. So does what Microsoft chooses to bolt onto the OS. Internet Explorer becomes the default path to the web for millions of new PC buyers. Netscape still exists. It is no longer the obvious click. Netscape cries foul. Regulators take notes. The legal fight becomes part of the story. But court cases move slower than install wizards. Here is the mechanism in plain English. If the platform gives away your product, your revenue model is not under pressure. It is under demolition. Same chart, different act. Share peaks, then bleeds. Not because users suddenly hated Navigator, because the default changed. Netscape pivots into a suite, browser, mail tools. More features, more weight, more places for Microsoft to flank them. The wider dot-com bubble does not help discipline. Money hides strategic mistakes until the market stops forgiving them. When the bubble cracks, weak business models do not get a soft landing. They get gravity. 1998, AOL buys Netscape for billions on paper. A portal giant swallowing the company that helped invent the open web. The deal is sold as synergy. In practice, it is an admission. The standalone browser business could not win the war alone. Netscape makes a stranger move, open sourcing its browser code into what becomes the Mozilla project. The product loses. The codebase gets a second life. Volunteers and engineers keep building in public. That is not a rescue plan for 90s revenue. It is a bet on the next decade. Internet Explorer climbs toward monopoly share. Netscape, the consumer brand, becomes a footnote in install wizards. AOL's world was walled gardens and sign-up disks. Netscape's world was the open web. The marriage never quite rhymed. Navigator updates slow down. Market share shrinks. The product that defined a category starts feeling like legacy software. Mozilla Firefox rises from the ashes with a new name and a cleaner story. The DNA is Netscape. The brand on the box is not. Then the web changes again. Search becomes the front door. Browsers become pipes. The fight moves to a battlefield Netscape never owned. AOL itself stumbles into bigger mergers and write-downs. Netscape disappears inside a media story that keeps getting worse. One more chart for the spine. Peak influence, then a long fade. Not a cliff like a retailer. A slow erasure from the default path. Users did not delete the internet. They stopped needing a logo that taught them how to click into it. So what actually killed Netscape? Not one bad release. A platform owner turned the browser into a free accessory and changed the default. If your business sells pics during a gold rush, the worst news is when a landlord starts giving shovels away at checkout. Antitrust litigation mattered symbolically. Strategically, millions of users had already clicked whatever shipped with the PC. Netscape also chased suites, while Microsoft gave away the wedge. Getting back to the mechanism, they fought feature lists while the distribution channel got locked. The open source pivot saved ideas, not the P&L. That is the cruel split in tech decline stories. Culture can win after the company loses. Today's browser fight is Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and a dozen engines. Netscape's ghost is in the standards and the open source lineage. Marc Andreessen went on to fund the next waves: social, cloud, AI. The founder outran the logo. The company did not. The lesson is blunt. If you sell the gateway, whoever owns the road can tax you, or give your product away until you leave. Museums keep the Navigator CD-ROM as an artifact. Business schools file the case under bundling, network effects, and platform power. For a generation, Netscape was the sound of getting online. The ritual moved to phones and apps. The company name faded first. That is the irony of decline stories people love. The habit survives. The company that named the habit does not have to. If you remember your first Netscape homepage, drop it below. Yahoo! Excite, something embarrassing. And tell me which fallen tech giant you want next.